This podcast is brought to you by Tushy. Tushy is an amazing, unconventional gift for anyone in your life. Everyone has an ass, and everyone deserves Tushy. Wiping your butt with dry toilet paper does not remove all the shit. Think about it. If you got poop on any other part of your body, would you just wipe it off with dry paper? No. You would bring water into the equation without a doubt. Water cleans better than dry toilet paper, my friends. Thankfully, there's now a sleek bidet attachment that clips onto your existing toilet and sprays your butt completely clean with fresh water. Tushy sprays directly onto your ass and removes the poop completely, so you aren't sitting on bacteria that leads to nasty things like hemorrhoids, yeast infections, UTIs, itchy assholes, and skid marks on your underwear. Bidets are common everywhere in the rest of the world. A bidet saves you money on toilet paper. I do this too. I still use a little toilet paper, but it's one wipe. And it's not like rubbing it dry. You know when you shit a lot and you just can't get it off? And you're like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you have a bidet, it just takes that all down, and then you get a clean wipe. It's almost like hosing the side of a mountain and then watching the you get the point. It won't clog your toilet either. Tushy sprays your ass with fresh water, not toilet water. Fresh water connects to the water supply behind your toilet to spray your dirty parts with clean, fresh water. It's the same water you brush your teeth with. Wet wipes are worse than toilet papers. If you put them in, they clog up your entire system. They're terrible for the environment, and they cause anal fissures. Who wants anal fissures? It's only $79. $79. It helps you get everything out right now. Go to hellotushy.com/Bert to get 10% off your order. That is hellotushy.com/Bert for 10% off your order.
The legend of machine. All the time, Bert's got that Mickey Mantle gene. It's secret time. He's the man, the myth, the legend, the fucking
No, but I don't want people to know it's a bullshit number.
No, it's not a bullshit number. It's a real number. It's a legit number. You get a legit number.
Yeah, but they can't call me, right?
No one can call you, but they can text you, and they can text back and forth. And when I get drunk or if I'm taking a shit, I'll just reply to people. They ask questions. They send pictures. A lot of dick pics.
You got to get me a number.
I'll get you.
But what if I don't want to bother with them and look at all?
Then it's fine. You can just, like Segura's got one, and he just pushes info. He doesn't even read anyone's text.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll get it for me?
I got you. I already texted her.
Texted who?
The girl in charge of the company. Her name's Molly.
Wait, we could talk about it on the air because I'm really dumb when it comes to technology.
So wait.
Do you know the dates I got to push?
No, what's
the
the
stand dates?
No.
That's why I brought this stupid thing in. See, I'm old school. This is how I do it.
You are old school.
You know, I don't do what you're doing. I don't believe in that stuff.
I love a legit calendar.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got to have one every year.
I'll show you.
Wait, let me just 10th, 17th, and 18th at the Stand in New York.
10th, 17th, and 18th of December.
At the Stand
in New York. That's how we'll start the show.
New York City.
That's how we'll start the show.
Because of the fact it's like it's a really small place.
It's great.
It's like 130.
They got the newsstand. They just opened it.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk about it.
We're talking right now. We're recording. You good?
I was at a different. What?
You were recording right now.
Why wouldn't I be good?
Okay.
Do I look all right?
No, you're perfect. You're perfect.
No, because I was like, I can't get sick, right? You're not sick,
No, I'm not sick at all. No.
No, because I got to do all these, dopey gigs. Diaz was telling me you like to be on the road a lot.
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't love the travel. I hate the traveling now.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
How much has it changed from when
And I've done all kinds of travel.
Yeah, because you've done everything.
Yeah, from bus tours to private plane tours to, commercial, mostly commercial, And I just might sue LAX for aggravation.
It's got the entrance I take a special entrance through American Airlines so you avoid all the bullshit. But that's when I've flown so much on American that's what they hook you up, and I'm losing it at the end of December, I think.
Well, now let's not talk about airports. Really, I don't want to get mad.
Wait, did you like doing a bus tour?
If the rides weren't that long, some of the rides were like 11, 12 hours.
Yeah.
From one shit house to the next. And
Who's
on? Like what people would say.
What?
You know what they'd say? They go, oh, like whatever horse shit, city it is, because to me there's no life between New York and LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of fucking farmers. That's how I always looked at it. I mean, and in the middle you got Chicago, which is a real city, which to me was just misplaced. It should have just been next to New York. You know what I mean? But other than that, with the the farming community, and not that we don't need farmers, because I got to get my my milk for the coffee and stuff. So, but I'm saying they go, oh, what beautiful country. I go, bored to fucking tears.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait to get on stage, do the show, and get back on the bus. Unless you want to look at giant fields of bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They live there because that's the life they chose to live. You know what I mean? I want to grow shit. So grow. But I don't want to be there for more than 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And get the fuck out of there.
Who
Like, I'll never go to Iowa again. They offer me the Hard Rock, all the time. One. Like, there's a new Hard Rock. Oh, you'll love. What the fuck is there to love?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What am I going to love exactly?
I just did that Hard Rock.
No, when I go down for coffee,
yeah,
and all I'm hearing is bells ringing and my brain's rattling. What's there to love?
Yeah.
Unless you get one of these farm girls with these fucking corn-fed, big fucking meaty tits, these big puddle dippers that you could get up to your room and grab her by the fucking tits and stick a fat ass on your fucking dickhead. That's a good time to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you live. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I'm just funny like that.
Yeah.
It's just what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like people go, Dice, what do you like to do when you're not working? I don't know, fuck. Get my dick sucked and then go to the gym.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's my hobby. I enjoy exercise.
Who would be on those bus tours with you back in the day?
Oh, I had some Jim Norton.
Yeah.
You
had a great group of comics. Like Florentine, Norton.
Yeah. Florentine, Norton, Sebastian, Eddie Griffin. These are all guys like I guess they call it mentoring, which I couldn't even tell you what that word means. I just liked their talent and looked to help them. And now with Eleanor Kerrigan, who to me is there's nobody like her. I mean, this girl, the first time I put her on stage, she was doing comedy, I don't know, 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
She had like 4 minutes. I put her on at Westbury. Like an experiment, like you would do in science class.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what, and have you played Westbury yet?
No.
Okay. All right, listen to me. It's in the Round.
Oh, yeah,
it's a theater in the Round. And she came out. I had to put on like short shorts, like use what you got to grab the crowd.
Yeah.
Let your ass stick out a little. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she wouldn't go that far, but she wore the shorts, she's got the long legs, she put on the heels, the works, booed off in like 4 minutes. Okay. They didn't want to see, you got to understand my fans are abnormal.
Yeah.
I'm putting a pretty girl in front of them with her ass hanging out, and you want her off and you want to see me, because guys act like fucking girls with me.
Yeah.
It's really unbelievable. Their wives are as cool as could be, and the guy's shaking like a leaf. Oh, do me a favor, walk away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at your wife, cool as a cucumber. What, And And the guy, oh, Dice, you don't know what you meant. What do I mean? What do I mean to your life? Please. I don't mean anything. I made you laugh for an hour.
I think you're wrong about that.
But Eleanor will be with me for at this. Where did I say we got to talk about the Stand in New York? Because what I'm doing now, I'm doing these like really. I would call it intimate. It's 130 fucking people. What is it? It's nothing.
Yeah,
it's no people. It's like being in my living room. But I'm doing these places because that's what I'm enjoying right now. Like I just did like some shows with Roseanne. I took her with me to start. We did, 4,000 people. And when I was doing it, I'm like, you know what? I'm not into it. I'm just not, I'd rather do more time, stretch out the material, really make them laugh their fucking balls off. You know what I mean? Rather than be in this, like these grand places. Look, you know me. I've done everything. I've done the Rose Bowl. You know what I mean? It's 101,000 people. Literally one extra guy on the 100,000 they could put in there. And I did that like with Guns N' Roses and Metallica. So the history, I've done everything, and I'm watching like you guys do it now, which is phenomenal. So yes, I'm doing these very intimate, like small clubs where I could really feel the crowd, and so the Stand is one of them. It's in New York. It's the only New York gig I'm doing as far as the city goes. Like people go, why don't you go into even like the Beacon? Who the fuck needs it? I don't want to be bothered. I know you're not a therapist, but I don't want to be bothered.
No, it makes sense.
I was on with Diaz yesterday, and I'm telling him, I don't want to meet them afterwards. I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Do you know how many fights I've had with guys that want to tell me, let's say he goes, like if I met you and I go, yeah, I know you're a good friend. I'll use Tom Segura, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know him. I never met him. I've heard of him, but I'll just use him like he's supposed to be my good friend.
Yeah.
And I go, oh no, I don't know who that is. No, he said he grew up with you. I go, yeah, well, good for him that he said that, but I don't know him. No, but you do. He told us about this is like from a fan saying this. And I go, don't you think I know who the fuck my fans and friends are? Not my friends are.
Yeah.
That's like saying, your mother's got orange hair. I go, no, my mother's had black hair her whole life. No, I know your mother since she's a... What the fuck are you talking about? I came from my mother. I should know what my mother looks like.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't want to meet them, because there's always going to be listen, like I said, it's early in the day. I don't want to upset your engineer. All right, so this old girlfriend shows up. Like, I mean, an old girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 80. No, she's no. It's like the first girl like I ever got involved with, but like a non-sexual girlfriend.
Like
what I
back
mean?
in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, I'd make out with her, half hour before sister came home with her boyfriend, and he'd drive me home. But it was no sex. I wasn't in there to the knuckle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wasn't giving a routine 5, flicking her fucking tits after night. She was a nice girl, so I make out with her, And so what happened is, so now it's years and years later. So she shows up like 2 years ago with her husband. And number one, she's one of the only girls that looked like the girl I went with. You got to see how some of them show up. Like I'm going, I went with that, really? With the missing fucking front tooth? And I'm not even kidding when I say the missing teeth. This has happened to me. I go, that's what the fuck happened here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like at 30 years old, they should put like a stamp on their head. Expired. Used by, 30, or it falls to shit. You know how they are with the cheese.
Yeah.
And the ranch dressing.
Yeah.
So she shows up with her husband, and he's got a brother. Now, I know who the husband is. I didn't know him personally, but he used to be a DJ in a disco when I was like 18. So I remembered him. Everybody loved this guy, He was fun. Now the brother, I don't know. I went to school with this yo-yo in junior high school, you know, and the brother was like in a smart class. You don't have to know me well to know I'm not a college graduate. You know, what class was I in?
Yeah.
The one right before the fucking retards. That's the class I was in.
Yeah.
You know, and whatever they called them back then.
Boom boom is what we call it.
You know, the ones that will walk around, duh, you know.
Yeah.
Till they see a chick with big tits and they're pulling on. All of a sudden, they know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, so here's the brother, and I go, oh, I didn't, you know, like I never would put that together. I never think about them. I'm looking at them, so I'm thinking about them. So the brother's telling me about this fight I had with him, the one I went to school with. Now I know that this asshole of a human being has told this story 1,000 times from the day I made it, right?
Yeah.
So he says how I beat him up in junior high. And I go, no, I didn't. You know, I wasn't that kind of guy to start fight. I had fights, but I wasn't a bully. I didn't pick on anybody, you know. I would look to break up a fight if I saw a fucking bully start with somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know how they, all right, we'll go to that later. So anyway, the guy's going, no, remember this girl? And I go, yeah, I actually do remember. And you liked her, but I liked her, so you punched me in the face. And I go, I never laid a hand on you. I go, I know you're in front of your brother and your sister-in-law, and you've been telling this story. I go, what, 3-4 decades now? You know, and he's going, no, you did it. I go, I'm going to do it now. You know, I go, if you don't walk the fuck out of my dressing room, I want you I was actually at the Stress Factory in Jersey.
Yeah.
You've been there, right?
That,
so you know how small the dressing room is.
Dressing room.
So I just came off stage. I'm sweating. And I got an asshole telling me his made up fucking story. And this is why I don't like to meet them. Yeah. Even people I know from the past, you know, because I got nothing to say.
Was it always like that though?
Yeah.
Like even when like before you popped.
No, before I popped, there was nobody coming over to me. So I had a following, you know, because I did things like the Red Fox Dirty Jokes, which you had guys like me and Jackie Martling, and it was a VHS tape that started getting a following. Mm-hmm. So I started filling clubs from that, and then a movie came out, Pretty in Pink, which they let me be Dice in. They let me be Dice in 2 movies, which I couldn't believe, which was Making the Grade with Judd Nelson. I was like part of that little brat pack, you know,
yeah.
Only not as big as like Molly Ringwald or Andrew. I did 2 movies, like with Judd Nelson. We did Making the Grade. And for some reason, when I told the producer, why don't we change the name of the character to the Dice Man? My idea, you know, and then, so he let me. There was a club. It said, like, the Dice Man, you know, in the movie. I'm going, what advertising for a stand-up in a fucking movie? So that was movie number 1, which was with Cannon Films. Then I get another movie, which is a John Hughes movie, which is a gigantic film with Molly Ringwald and Andrew McCarthy and
John Cryer.
John Cryer and
right?
What's his name? Which I did the show, Blacklist.
James Spader.
Yeah, amazing, you know. And John Hughes loved me so much. I played a bouncer at a club that he split my scene into 2 scenes so he could show me again.
Yeah.
You know, which was, and that's where the whole cigarette around the head happened. He goes, do something, you know, to end the scene. So he just used that as a separate scene. And so now I'm really getting a following in clubs, you know. So another guy that I said, why don't we just call me the Dice Man? Who gets 2 movies using the name they use in reality? It's never happened to this day.
You got to experience things that I always think, like, I can't imagine, we don't get it anymore, like it doesn't happen, but I mean, you did that Dangerfield special. I think that was like, for us in high school, that's when all of us were like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's Doug Ellen, who created Entourage, okay? Yeah. And he gave me the last season of Entourage.
You were great on it.
No, but he came to me when I met with him. He go, I thought it would be like a little walk on a cat, like nothing was happening.
Yeah.
For like I was doing the road and living off what I call my first career, which I did, 12 million people in concert, and I did over 300 arena shows. They would, if I put on a sale, 20 cities, let's say, it's hundreds of thousands of people, right?
Yeah.
It would sell out in an hour. Gone from a newspaper ad.
No viral marketing, no Twitter, no Instagram.
Nothing.
It was just.
There was nobody, I wasn't following anybody. They just followed me through the front doors of the Spectrum 3 times, the Philly Spectrum and, the Forum, everywhere. Like, I'll tell you about but in the meantime, it was just an ad in the paper. This is from the Dangerfield thing. This isn't even from when I did a special 9 months later.
No, it wasn't even from was Dice your first album?
Yes.
It wasn't even from Dice. It was that Dangerfield special.
Yeah. Well,
it got spread like
what
you
happened.
Talk about viral marketing.
The album came out around, that was Rick Rubin producing, came out, just about the same time the Rodney thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is that, when Rick came over to me, I was doing the Laugh Factory. I had to do 2 shows there before, when it was just a tiny little room. There was like 20 people. So I go next door to Greenblatt's for coffee, and here comes this guy looking like a fucking bum with this other guy that I'm going to blow off. Even back then, like I don't want to talk to people.
Yeah.
I just don't want to bother, So the guy's like low key, and he's like, I'd like to speak to you for a minute. I'm like, yeah, what? What? I got another show. I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have patience for these, Californian tofu eating assholes. I don't. I never changed.
Yeah.
So the guy standing with me was a writer, screenplay writer, and he looks at the guy and he goes, "Aren't you Rick Rubin?" So I look at this guy and I go, "Who is he?" He goes, "Who is he? He created rap. Who is he? Run DMC, Walk This Way?" And he goes, "Yes, I am," because Rick's very respectful and soft-spoken. And I wound up doing 5 or 6 albums with him, and so that's how I met him. And we did the album, and it came out when the Dangerfield thing did. But it was just, I took, okay, this is how the Dangerfield thing, this is how much I knew what was going to happen, and I know you're very hot right now in the comedy world. You know that, right?
I'm having a second. I wouldn't say I'm hot, but yeah, I can sell some tickets for the first
No,
time.
you're cooking now,
Thank you.
And if I know you before I come here, I know you're cooking.
I heard a story, and not to interrupt you, it was one of the greatest stories ever. Is Eleanor texted me. I think Eleanor texted me and said, Dice saw the video of you're coming to a club, and he was like, the first thing he said, he doesn't wear a shirt. And then he said, she goes, he was laughing hysterically. He goes, he doesn't wear a shirt. It was the greatest compliment that I made you laugh.
Because I'm always sweating.
Yeah.
When I come off stage, I go, this guy figured it out. Don't even wear a shirt.
That's exactly why I stopped wearing a shirt, is I was sweating in a shirt, and everyone would see sweat stains. I was like, fuck it.
And you took off a ton of weight from the time I seen you, which is good.
Yeah, thanks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, I
just for your health.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I just started getting healthy. But so wait, so go back. Tell me about the Rodney Dangerfield special.
Okay, so
because that was groundbreaking for all of us.
Well,
it introduced so many people to comedy. That was the first time I ever saw comedy. Where I was like,
it aired on February 13th, 88, and I came into the business September 13th, 78. So it's basically 10 years, the same, like weird, right?
Yeah.
So, but I knew what was going to happen. It wasn't like if you knew me back then, let's say you were a little insecure about yourself, which most comics are. Mm-hmm. The one thing I always had was complete confidence in who I am and what I do. It's why I fucked everybody, just to prove a point,
Yeah.
You know, I mean, every waitress, every cover girl, nobody was safe. People in the audience, girl going to bed, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, let's go to the main room. I'll show you around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because I just wanted to tell people, like, I'm going to be the biggest thing in the world. You know, so I figured when you're fucking a chick and you go, let me tell you something about me, you know, but yet you could keep the bounce going.
Yeah.
You know, like you just feel your balls bouncing off her fat little ass and those wet fucking greasy lips, right?
Yeah.
But yet I could hold a conversation and smoke a cigarette at the same time because I put the ashtray near her head. You know what I mean? So I could take a puff. Let me tell you something about what you saw tonight in that original room. I go, biggest comic in the world. You're fucking the biggest comic in the world. So if you come on my fucking dick, that's an honor. You know, remember, dice, right? And I would tell them all, you know. So anyway, a few days before the special's going to air, which Rodney let me edit my shot because when he showed it to me, I go, all right, what are you kidding? And he goes, okay, man, what do you want to do? I go, you want to work on it? So he sends me in with the director, and he goes, Dice wants to edit the shot. Okay, man, give him a shot at editing. You know, an hour later, I walk out. He goes, you happy, man? And I go, yeah, the biggest comic in the world, you know? So on a Thursday, because you know how the industry shuts down Friday, everybody goes home. Now, back then, like I said, it wasn't with the fucking laptops and, you know, everybody writing their script at every Starbucks, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big fire on the other side of town. Well, on this side of town, everybody's writing the movie about it, asshole humans.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was newspapers. So Variety was a newspaper back then, you know. So I decide I'll just take a full page, you know, and tell the whole industry they're about to see the biggest comic in the world. And I wrote like a whole poem about it. I put my picture on one side. Cost like $3,500, right? And then the other side was like in bold letters, it said, I never studied much in school, but when I turned on the tube, and then I listed everybody. Like there was Elvis the King, Buddy Rich with Hands Like Lightning, Travolta sang and danced, Sly knocked me out. All these greats, like Gleason was the great one, Cagney, you were number one. And then near the end, I write, Murphy and Pryor, both great, no doubt, but in 88, it's Dice Thou Shout. I never studied much in school, but I did study, you know, with this real attitude looking picture and the time of the show when it's going to be on.
Yeah.
All right. Which is the ballsiest thing I did to that point.
Like, it's insanely. But
yeah,
now,
don't forget,
I've never heard this.
Eddie Murphy's now having his resurgence again, which he'll crush it. I love Murphy.
Yeah.
But, you know, at that time, he was doing the big movies and, you know, the movies are making $300 million, you know, at that time. Pryor, Mitzi used to have me go on after Pryor when he came back from the burn incident because nobody wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew I could crush, you know, I just knew my material would kill a crowd, you know, and I was different than the other guys. Like I had the comp. I was waiting to go on. Like I wasn't, what am I going to do after Pryor? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know, I'm Dice, you know, and so what happened is the show airs Saturday night. Monday, I'm the biggest comic in the world. Just the way I said it. Everybody calling. Sandy Gallen, who was the biggest manager in the world at the time, you know, tracked me down at a club in Connecticut. There's a Mr. Sandy. I'm having breakfast. When these guys want you, they find you.
Yeah.
That's you know, he handled Sly, he handled Whoopi, he handled Neil Diamond and Dolly Parton. I mean, the biggest of the big, you know. And I signed with him, and then I wound up with Geffen, and I wound up with Barry Diller with movies, you know. So, but I knew what the country was about to see. I predicted it. I knew it was going to happen. It wasn't like a shock to me, you know. And, you know, I remember, after the special aired, I walked to the Comedy Store because I always like looking at the thousands of people in their cars and, you know, in the clubs and doing their fucking drugs and throwing up on themselves from alcohol. And I'm thinking I just became the biggest thing in the fucking world. And it was that because it was like Lady Gaga, but only as a comedian.
I remember it distinctly.
Well, that's why they called it Dice Mania. Like you remember.
Oh, I remember sitting at our lunch table, and one kid could recite what you had said, and we were dying, fucking laughing, and going like, and the other kids that hadn't seen it were like, "How do I find this? How do I get this?"
It's the weirdest thing because that was my point with Doug Ellen when he put me on Entourage. You know, and he had other comics through the seasons do a part, you know.
Yeah.
Saget did great on there. You know, he's the one I remember. But Doug felt, you know, when he sat with me, he goes, "You're the greatest comic in the world. Like, where you been? What happened to you?" And I told him my story, my personal life, whatever. Yeah, I went to, you know, I'm very into my sons and raising them. And I went through the big divorce. So that was like way more important to me than, you know, my career. I didn't never give a shit about the career. I care about more my personal life always.
Was it tough?
Yeah.
Was it tough with such a large persona to then go to drop off at your kids at school and have parents?
Oh, they looked at me like the animals here.
Really?
When I would pick, it was great because I'm always in the gloves.
Yeah.
I'm normally in sweat shorts and a tank top. So I could feel it, you know, like, oh, there's the animal hanging on the fence, you know.
Yeah.
In the meantime, they all live in their houses with their dirty little fucking secrets. They're all no fucking good. They don't even take care of their kids. And I'm from Brooklyn. I raise my boys. They live with me to this day.
You got
know?
great kids.
And thank you. So, you know, so I didn't care about it. But I just want to finish the story with Doug. Doug says to me, he goes, "Listen, I'm going to give you this one season of Entourage." After I told him what had happened in my career, you know, and my personal life, and they sort of followed it in the show, you know, and he goes, "And wait till you see what happens for your career. You're not like other people, you know." He goes, "You'll see. I know what I'm talking about." And, you know, right from Entourage for the next 10 years, which is just about now, you know, every project, high profile, from the latest, obviously, was Star is Born, you know, with Gaga and Bradley. And,
you're amazing in that.
And, but, you know, like Vinyl with Scorsese and you know, just these, my own TV show I did for Showtime, you know, but I couldn't take it, you know, honestly, you know, with, you know, everybody say it's an honor to work with you till they're working with you and they go, "We know what we're doing, Dice." And it's like, why don't you just write what really goes on in my life?
You were backstage at the store one time. I doubt you'll remember this, but I want to say back there was like, if I remember correctly, I think it was like Chris Rock, Louis Anderson, maybe Roseanne. I know that me and Gary Goldman and Steve Byrne were back there, and you were telling the simplest story. You told us two stories. One about your kids had a friend who pretended to be dead. And you were like, "You're not putting this past me," and then another one about you bringing the bikes.
I know,
to the park, and then it's all about the bikes, and then
how I got cut up. I had the bikes in my Bronco, and then they're telling me I can't fucking take the bikes here because they're playing golf and fucking what is it? What's right near? Where's like the Playboy Mansion? That neighborhood?
Brentwood?
No, is it?
Beverly Hills?
No, it's not Beverly Hills. It's past Beverly Hills.
Palisades?
Not Hancock Park. Whatever it is. Spelling's got his house there.
Yeah.
And they play like the little guy. And I was like, fuck them. Get on your bikes. Who gives a shit? I got hit with a golf ball.
Yeah.
I actually was taking a break sitting on the grass. A guy hit me with a golf ball.
We were crying.
You know.
Laughing.
And I'm cutting my legs up, taking the fucking bikes out of and my wife's going, "Maybe you don't want to go here." You know, I said, just fucking ride the bike. Just get on the bike and have a good fucking time. Don't bother me.
And then your kids this is all I remember is I've thought of this line so much. Your kids then find something else and take off, and you're sitting with the bikes. You go,
they
you
were
go,
on
what about the bikes?
Yeah, they're on the swings.
They're on the
You know, they
swings.
like the swings and all that. And you know, and that's when the wife is like going, see, I told you they didn't need to be on the, just go on a fucking bike and go around the fucking thing. Leave me alone.
We were dying laughing.
You know, because you don't come across that in Brooklyn. You get on a bike and
Yeah.
you go. You can't go. Why? Who's walking here?
Yeah.
Who's the fuck is walking on the street here? You know what I mean? I'm getting on the bike. Call the SWAT team, assholes.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's funny because you talk about your career in like a period where, you know, you're going through the divorce and raising the kids and staying out of the limelight. And all I remember is either being on the road and knowing that you had like a little traveling circus that you'd go in and you'd do, like, I want to say you'd do either 1,000-seaters or you'd go in and do a club for one night or bounce around. And I ended up, and at one point I ended up working with you on a show called The X Show. It was my first TV show. And you came on and did like a cameo for FX. This has got to be 20 years ago.
It's amazing how I don't remember any of this shit.
It's so funny. My memories of you are so recent. I remember one time you went on O&A and Judd Apatow must have been sitting in a chair. And you didn't know who he was. And you just go, hey, you got to move. And,
Yeah, I
and he
mean-
was like the biggest movie star. I am crying in my car going, he was the greatest radio appearance ever.
I love Apatow.
Yeah.
But you know, he's a movie producer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a writer. And to me, he's done some of the greatest comedies, and like his show on Netflix, Love, was one of the best shows about
it really
that.
was.
Like, I'm looking at that show. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about with
Yeah.
Gus?
Yeah, I think I don't know everything. I just
No,
watched
Gus
it.
was the leading
Yeah,
man.
I know Gus. Yeah,
You know, okay. This is how smart Apatow is. He took some fucking guy that, you know how they say there's somebody for everybody? He didn't take like a leading man. He took this fucking yo-yo. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This fucking guy, and he makes him the love interest, and the girl's crazy about him. But what I show and what I used to yell with my producers on my show, I go, because Natasha Leggero played my girlfriend, I go, you know, it's amazing. Every week she's angry at me. Every week she's yelling at me. How come you never show why she's in love with me? I go, why don't you show that side? I go, they got a show on fucking Netflix with a guy that looks like a fucking stick figure that's fucking the girl every 30 seconds.
yeah.
That they actually say, let's have sex. I go, not one time in my series. So it's like, well, what did Dice do that's so bad that he's just getting screamed at? Why would he even stay with a girl that's so fucking nasty to him?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Show her sucking my fucking dick in the car. Show her with her legs pinned behind her fucking head and I'm just slamming into her. Then you show her yelling at me because I did the wrong thing. That's what wrong. But I felt like the people working, well, some of the people didn't know what I call romance.
Yeah.
After what I just fucking said. Show her with her fucking knees pinned behind her head. You know what I'm talking about, that move? You know, where you get the knees right on the sides of that fucking head and you slam into them like they're not even fucking human. And then you're out in public, right? After you eat those beefy fucking lips for 2 hours, right? Now you're in a fucking diner, let's say, you know, and you meet another couple for breakfast. And the girl is like, oh, it's so nice to have met you and all sweet. And you're looking at her going, if they only knew. Because when I meet polite people and the girl is extra polite, I'm thinking, all right, so when she's behind closed doors, this horse-titted animal, right? Is she saying, oh, it's now time for the removal of the brassiere? She's not all polite once that door closes.
Yeah.
It's one leg up, you fucking animal. One fucking leg up. You know what I mean? The most lewd position imaginable. Not even like you're on the side of her and banging her. One leg up. You got to give the command always. And you got to have, you got to take control at that situation. And if they start lowering the leg, you go, maybe you didn't hear me the first time. One leg up. And then on the weekend, you're at a party. She's dressed like a human being. Oh, really? And you're an orthopedic surgeon? And I'm looking at her going, you fucking hooah. If only they knew. That's the beauty of romance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That an hour earlier, you could have been catty corner fucking her on the island in your kitchen, and nobody knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And on Thanksgiving, they're standing with the tortilla chips out here and the special dip that every chick has to make. They can't just buy dip. Oh, did you taste the dip? I think you had enough dip out of my fucking dick, you fucking animal, what they are. I love them. I was always romantic with girls. That's
Yeah.
just how I am. It's the truth. Like, people don't know me in that way. They get the wrong idea because of the stage persona. But honestly, I'll fuck you anywhere. That's how much I'm into you. I mean, we could wait to go home. You know what I mean? But did you see the bedroom in your girlfriend's house? It's beyond belief. Like, there's a rug in there. Like, what are we waiting to go home for? You're all lick it up. You're all sloppy. My balls are fucking clapping together. What, we got to wait another 2 hours? I got to listen to these boring fucking people before I could drag you into the fucking bedroom and throw you on the fucking floor in there? Like, what are we waiting for? We're at a party. A party meet. That's why I don't get into the politics. Everybody at parties heated with the veins coming out of their necks ever since, the last election and all that. I couldn't give a fuck who when I go to a party, number one, I don't give a fuck who the president is anyway. I just never cared because nothing ever changed in my life. On January 1st, I'm going, all right, what's the plan for this year?
Yeah.
It's a business. And people are there. No, you don't fucking understand what's going on. And I'm looking at the chick in the corner with tits. They're not even like normal tits. You know what I mean? Tits that can't be contained. And I'm going, drag her into the broom closet. Like, this is why I'm at the party. I don't care who's doing what, who's the congressman, who's the mayor. I want to dump a load and get the fuck out of here and know I had a good time. That's a party.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I should be screaming about, the state of affairs or the last debate. I couldn't even tell you who's running. There's like a whole ton of guys trying out.
Yeah.
And a couple chicks they sprinkled in to make it look good. It's just amazing what's happened to that's why I stay off Facebook. They're all fighting or showing the 103-year-old uncle with tubes sticking out of his neck. Oh, Uncle Raymond passed. Who gives a fuck? You're anonymous.
Yeah.
Nobody in the world knows this fucking guy. Why are you showing him to me? So I stopped going on there. And I don't want to see what you eat. I'm not even doing material for I'm just saying, when I look at this shit, I go, it's the life that you're leading with this guy for 36 years so fucking boring that you got to put up a picture of the fucking meal you ate that night. When did our parents ever say, oh, I wish there was cell phones that I could take a picture of this meal and show it to everybody? All the stuff that's going to come flying out of my asshole over the next 12 hours. The fuck has happened to the world?
I don't know. I'm a part of it, but
So anyway, to make a long story shorter, with Doug, I did all the projects. Because you brought up a question an hour ago about when I made it, you knew where you were, whatever. You remember seeing it?
Uh-huh.
He wrote it when I put out the Dice autobiography. He did the forward, and that's what he wrote about. That everybody remembers where they were at that moment when they saw this guy, and at that moment, I didn't realize the effect, like that I was having on the country.
Oh,
I knew I was going through the roof, but I'm going, it was bigger than most. Like, me and Billy Joel were the number 1 and 2 box office stars as far as live performance before every rock band in the world. Billy was number one. I was number two. You know,
I can hear, it sounds silly. I'm sure you probably know it a little bit, but I can hear parts of other comedians from the store that came out of the store. When I hang out with you, I can hear a little bit of your, like when I talk to you, I hear a little bit of them like, oh, they got that from Dice. Like there's parts of everyone.
I've been living this for a long time now with, you know, with the comedians out there. What is funny is, you know, everybody always brings up the Garden. I did the Garden.
You're the first person to sell out the Garden.
Yeah,
first
I did. Yeah, to do it
shows.
2 nights in a row, and then I came back 10 years later to do another show, just to show my sons, what can be. You know, even though they were young, I knew something's got to go.
At the time?
They were 6 and 10.
Yeah,
and I just knew something would go in them. You know, like because I'm like, I don't want to grow up and first hear the story and look at tapes. Let them feel something. Let them see something. And my wife at the time would let him in at certain, like my Max, my oldest son, you know, was allowed to be on his own and come in and out of the room. He knew if it got too dirty, walk out for that moment. My son Dylan, who's my youngest son, he was allowed to like see me go up, you know, to feel that audience and to watch the poems at the end.
Yeah.
And that was an incredible night because it was the last night of the World Series, the Mets playing the Yankees, and we were still sold out.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. I wasn't even going to do the back of the room, you know, and Ron Delsner, who was promoting the show, called me in the afternoon and he goes, look, Dice, he goes, we could sell a ton. Would you allow us to open up the back? You know, so I said, yeah, I don't get my point's proven, you know. Like I did that show just to show my boys.
Yeah.
It's just been a crazy career. And now they're a band called No One Cares. You know, they've done like Ozfest. They're a rock band. They've done Sonic Temple Festival this year. So they're doing their own thing. But it's funny to live in a house with all creative people, you know, because there's always disagreements with it. And because I'm so seasoned as a performer, I don't even look at it like comedy because like my son Max last night said, you're a concert performer. That's why these people pay the kind of money they see that they pay to see you in these tiny little places now. Because it's like a lot of them are people that sat in the nosebleed seats going, wait, I could sit up front and see this guy in a club. So, but I've never enjoyed performing as much as I do right now.
Really?
For whatever reason. Yeah.
Do you like the writing part of it, or do you like just the
writing is on stage? I'm never at home going, oh, let me write this down. Let me write that down.
Do you pick up on parts of life where you're like, I'll take that up tonight? Or do
you know who Eleanor, you know, who opens for me, Kerrigan?
Yeah.
She gets so angry at me because in the middle of the day, like we could be in the gym. She's also a workout animal, you know. I go, oh, here's something I got to talk about, you know, tonight. I'll like open with it. And she goes, yeah, and you'll kill, you know, with not even thinking about the bit. And I'm at 4 shows a night working on stuff for weeks. And you don't leave the house and you'll come up with this thought. Like the new thing is, you know, with the whole body shaming thing. And, you know, but there's a dating site, you know, for these fat fucks now, you know.
Really?
It's called Woo. Oh, wait, the fuck. That'll be great. Even if I do the bit, that's how it would come out.
Yeah.
It would be Woo what the fuck, and I'd forget not fat. They don't say the word fat. Plus. Woo plus. You know, for like you know, fat people.
Yeah.
Or people that like, you know, fat girls. You know what I mean? You know, and I'll do 15 minutes on this woo bullshit because I have fucked these big fatties.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be like a hobby of mine, you know, and it takes skill, you know, when you go with something obese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a war. You ever bang like a chick twice your size?
Oh, my wife was pregnant, but yeah.
No, but that's like a normal. I'm talking about something you see and you go, I can take her down.
No, I have
Yeah,
not.
yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
And what's funny is when you're with a girl that big, they'll fight for the top spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember this one in Chicago. It ended, I'll never forget, between the bathroom floor and the living room of the suite. And I was on top, and it's like I always tell my fans, I go, whether it be in the past, whether it be in the present and forever, Dice does the fucking. So yeah, I don't care what you weigh, what you got over me, and you can get hurt when you're banging something that big. When you fall off a bed and something like that falls on top of you,
Yeah.
you can break an arm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to get the upper hand. You know what I mean? So I would win because there's no way I'm going to let this girl leave the room and go, I did the fucking, let her think she's going to do the, but I'm going to take it over.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the driver's seat. Your big, fat, cellulitic fucking thighs are going to be flapping in the fucking wind. That's the speed. That's the tempo I'm going to take. And I did it for the fans. You know what I mean? Because the fans need these stories. When I talk about how I fucked the chick that looked like Shrek, true story. Because I know nobody would do that.
Yeah.
I do it because I'm a comic. I owe it to them. But like I said, I don't want to hang with them after. They all want to hang. It's like I got nothing to say to you. I gave you everything I got.
Do you like being alone?
Well, I got a new chick now. A brand new girlfriend. And this is funny because Eleanor got her for me.
Really?
Yeah, Eleanor's my ex-fiance.
Yeah. That's what I was.
What? You can ask me whatever
I
you
knew
want.
you and Eleanor used to date, right?
That's what you do to a fiance.
Yeah. But I didn't know you guys were engaged.
Yeah. What a goof, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, it's a long time ago. Anyway, she was somewhere, we were in one of the cities we were playing, and she looks up at me and she's got this big smile on because, I broke up with my girl about 2.5 years ago, something like that. And I haven't gotten serious about anybody, there are load zappers out there if you really need something. And, no, you know what I mean.
No,
nothing to get
it.
serious
No,
about,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like, I'm sick of jerking off. Let me get a load zapper, And so anyway, there's been but I didn't even think I'd really get involved with anybody again. Like I got used to like being on my own and I liked it, like not being told what to do. We're going to my mother's house. We're going, and I'm like, get the fuck with your mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never, my whole life, no matter how many wives, it's like, don't, I'm not going there. You know what I mean? Go shop, go do whatever you, just leave me alone. I can't believe you never come with me, when I have a family. Get the fuck, I'm Dice. Where am I going? It's amazing how they don't fucking understand. It really is amazing. And then you're nice enough to fuck them in front of 150 leather jackets, and you go, do you get the point now? Do you see a 3-piece suit hanging in here? Am I going to be on the train in the morning going to the stock exchange? You stupid fuck, I'm Dice.
Yeah.
Who else gets fucked while I'm wearing a leather fucking jacket and fucking black boots on? Who would name another friend of yours that gets this kind of treatment? You know what I mean? You're a guy, you know what I'm saying? So, because I really am. I'm like the nicest guy in the world. I treat a girl beautifully. But don't bother me with going to a restaurant or everybody's going for pizza. Just throw the fucking chicken in the oven and get out of my sight for a few hours. That's how I look at them. So anyway, Eleanor looks at me. She's looking at her phone like always. I mean, I do it too. We all do it. You know, it's a sickness. But she really does it. So anyway, she looks up at her phone and she goes, she's got this like real big smile. And I go, yeah, what? You know, she goes, this is good. And she starts asking me, do you remember this girl? I showed you her picture when I went on the cruise. And I go, no, Eleanor, I don't remember. I'll show you the picture she shows me. I'll be nice about it with you. I like you.
Thank you. I like you too.
What the fuck with the Instagram bullshit? Okay. Here she is. All right. So she shows me. Yeah, look at this. I don't want anybody. Okay, you can move in on the picture. It's this girl with the long hair. So
Whoa.
she shows me this.
Holy shit.
What's your name? Halston. Take a look. Beautiful girl, right?
Christ.
So I'm looking at her and going, yeah, what about her? You know, she goes, she's coming to the show tomorrow. She goes, don't you remember I told you, me and my sister, we did a whole thing. We were telling her about you on the cruise, you know, and I think she was a little thrown off because I said I used to be engaged to you, you know, the whole thing. And, you know, you can't judge him by his act, you know, you got to meet him in person to, you know, and I go, all right, so that's a while ago you met this girl. Well, she was single. And I'm like, but is she still single? They don't keep these on the market.
Yeah.
You know? So she wrote to the girl, like she wanted to know if she was single. And she's still single, you know? And I'm going, all right, you know, you know, I'll be nice and everything. She goes, yeah, just be nice. Just do your show and you'll meet her, whatever. And the minute I said hello, we just started talking. And it's like really become something, like, you know, and I would even tell her, you know, I mean, I call it, you know, I give nicknames, you know, Sugar Plum, you know, because that's like Southern, right?
Is she from the South?
What?
Is she from the South?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but what's funny is her whole family's East Coast.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody. She just happened to grow up where she grew up, you know, and, which is so funny. And she speaks, like I said, with the polite. She's so polite. Like I didn't even know how to talk to her at first. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and she don't curse really at all. You know, I don't curse that much when I'm not on stage. But I curse like a normal, you know. But she don't, you know, that's not how she is. So we just, you know, from that moment on, like we became like a couple. So like I am involved now.
Nice.
You know. Now, I told her, I go, you're going to be with me Christmas. You're going to cook a turkey. You got, you know, it's a test. So last night she says to, I'm talking on the phone. She goes, when did these tests end? Like, you know, there's always a test. I go, they never end because there's a lot I got to, you know, I got to have a whole profiling of you. You know, but she's this really the nicest, like any girl I've ever gone with. 2 weeks don't go by before the first big fight.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way my life's gone. My sons, if they were here, would back me up.
Yeah.
They've witnessed, you know, the most volatile, you know, bags being thrown over the fucking balcony, screaming in the fucking street. You know, the worst, you know. So I'm not used to, I mean, it, like what shocks my son Dylan, They're the fucking best. Last night I'm telling him, don't go to sleep. Too late. It was 3:30 a.m. Like, what's too late?
Yeah.
Rush hour? What the fuck is too? My house is like an after-hour club. My son Max first sat down at the drums at midnight in the living room. That's like where we keep all the musical stuff.
Yeah.
And he starts to work out this new kind of solo that he's playing. I'm going, it's, you understand? We're not a normal family. Everybody else on the block is out cold.
Yeah.
You know, we're first going. We're first getting into the shank of the evening.
I think that's because they grew up. I think that's obviously because of your kids, and us comics are all night owls.
With their night, and they're musicians, so there's music coming from. Like, I could be pulling up, like if I go hang at the store, it could be 2 a.m, and I'm hearing them jam. Like, you're pulling into the driveway, and they, like it's 3 p.m, and I come in, I go, no, you can't do this right. Take the acoustic. What are you doing? There's people leaving the neighborhood because of us. Do you know how they look at us?
Yeah.
And but anyway, my son Dylan's baffled because he goes, this whole, thing with you and Sugar Plum. He goes, I don't get it. Like, it's always nice. I go, we haven't come. Not a bad word between us. I don't get it myself.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the chemistry of the two of us that she's so different than me. She's not looking for the conflict. Like, I can't have that anymore. You know what I mean?
What you were probably attracting when you were younger is.
It's just the way it came down. Like I said, I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell you about one animal in Brooklyn that, the night I asked her to do the engagement, I was really young. I also broke up with her the same night, and I'm leaving her house, and there was a big staircase, okay? And, and her parents woke up to hear the news. Then they heard the bad news, and I'm trying to leave, and she wraps her arms around my throat. That as I'm walking down the steps to get to the front door, she's dragging her fucking feet to weigh me down, and her father's fucking pulling her off till they both went flying back, and I went flying out of the fucking house. These are the relationships I've had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went with a chick, thank God it was a fake gun when I was living up at Crest Hill. You know what I mean? That this girl knew I had this gun, but it was a blank gun. And I broke up with her, and she's in my room, and she goes to take the gun. And I let her, because I know it's a fake gun. And she points it point blank and pulls the fucking trigger.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, and she realized what she did, only it's a cap. A blank gun is caps, but they feel like a real gun. And I'm standing there, and I didn't know what to do, so I fucked her. Yeah, I'll never forget. Like, she was on her knees with the ass up at the bed. And then I told her she had to leave, but the heat of the moment, the excitement of this chick trying to kill me, I'm like, at least fuck her.
Yeah.
And she blew me to boot,
Nice.
Yeah. And then it was like, you got to leave or else all the comics are going to fuck your sister in the car up there, because they were both really drunk. It was like, enough of these girls.
What was it like? Was there, when comedy hit its boom, when you took off, I think you helped introduce a bunch of comedians to a bunch of people as well. I think people started finding stand-up. And what was the camaraderie like back then? Was it competitive, or was it like, because camaraderie now,
there are no friends.
Now it's all of a sudden, it's like, because of podcasting, we can all help each other.
Yeah.
So there's like a weird.
No, back then, it just, I felt like the Frank Serpico. You know who Serpico was?
I
felt
emailed
like
him
the
other
Frank
day.
Serpico of comics. They hated me from day one because I came to the Comedy Store with a different kind of act. It was these musical. I would turn from Jerry Lewis, the Nutty Professor, the original Nutty, into John Travolta from Grease. And then I would wind up doing the whole Grease Lightning number Because I didn't grow up loving stand-up. I grew up loving, performers. Like I was a real performer. Like by the time I was 17, I'm playing drums, I'm singing in bands, I knew how to dance, I knew everything.
Yeah.
And I would watch comics and go, just awful, like no performing skills whatsoever. They would just stand, and not move around at all. And I was more about entertaining a crowd. So I did this musical act and they hated it, but I became a regular the first night I went to the store. I did 20, audition night, 28 fucking minutes. I fuck everybody where they breathe. I remember the fucking MC, only I didn't know he was the MC. I'm coming off the stage and he starts yelling at me. You're never going to work here again. I go, are you the owner? He goes, do you understand you did nearly a half hour? I go, are you the owner? I go, I didn't come 3,000 miles to do 3 minutes. Get the fuck out of my way. And the next day I got a call from the store from this guy that used to work there, Steve Moore, going, you need to come and sign papers that you're a regular at the store now, an independent, contract, whatever. And she started working me that night. And then by the time I did like Don Kirshner's rock concert, which was like a late night rock show with the one I did had Devo on it, Joan Armatrading. And I did the longest shot I ever did on that kind of show. Did 13 minutes using music from Rocky, Fever, Grease. And I'll never forget the producer, Tom Lynch, who wound up doing my first special like 8 years later, because I needed a producer. He was a 23-year-old guy when I met him. And I go, I got all this music. And I go, like meaning you got to pay for it. He goes, just go do your act. Don't worry about it. Like, it could have been hundreds of thousands of dollars, with the music from the biggest movies on earth, Grease and Fever and Rocky, and I just did it. But it was after that I said, I got to find me on stage because I didn't give a shit about stand-up. I figured I'll just become a movie star. And the easiest way to do that, instead of being in an acting class and acting like a turn-up, or, when they tell you to turn into an animal or whatever, I'll be on a stage every night honing my craft.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting considering that you didn't care about being a stand-up to get into it.
At all.
But you influenced so many people to get into stand-up.
Well, what happened is, all of a sudden, I got a shot to go up one night, and they go put your costume on. Harris Pete was the MC back then. And I go, no, just bring me up the way I am. Just bring, introduce me as Tony Tuffarino. And he goes, what? I go, just do what I'm telling you. He goes, no, I'm bringing you on as Andrew Clay. So I come on, as Andrew Clay, but I'm in my leather jacket. I had big hair back then with a big pomp, the whole thing. And I lit my cigarette and I looked at them and I just smoked, And after about 2 minutes of smoking, I said, I know I haven't told you any jokes yet. I've sort of just been, smoking a cigarette. But you see, I can come up here, and only I can come up here and smoke a cigarette, but yet keep your attention. And the reason I could do that, ladies and gentlemen, is, well, the fact is, I'm just that fucking good. And I walked off. And that's how it became, and then I started developing, all the material, and I had a ton of material because, when I lived in Brooklyn, I always had like a girlfriend, and I wouldn't touch a girl's tit for, nearly a week if I was dating her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out here, it was a whole different set of rules. The most beautiful girls, you want to take them out. They go, well, where do you live? What? And you're banging them an hour later. So I had the whole women thing going.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see the fag march, on Santa Monica Boulevard on Halloween. That's like their day.
Yeah.
So I'm jogging on Santa Monica Boulevard. And then I just see thousands of them walking towards me. So I jog home and I say to my girlfriend, who became my wife and my son's mom, I got my new subject. I go, the whole fag thing. I go, people will go nuts from that. Because by then I'm Dice and I'm picking material that's right for this Brooklyn attitude. What would he talk about? Chicks and what else? The whole gay thing.
Yeah.
And that was at a time where they weren't that popular before they were first fighting. Like today, everything's everything.
Yeah.
But back then, you say anything, people are looking at you like, oh man, and my jokes were funny,
What were I remember, but had AIDS started yet?
Well, what happened, I actually spoke about this with Diaz yesterday. What happened was when I would be interviewed, I was myself, They saw my girl, they saw the way I lived. I was like, just no character, no material, nothing. I was telling them who I am. And then when the articles would come back, they just write about the act anyway. So it's like, why am I taking time to meet with people 2 and 3 days? And they don't even write about it because they needed the controversy.
Yeah.
I was on TV just about every day, whether it be Entertainment Tonight or all these tabloid shows. I'm like, I can't believe the deal they're making over a comic, like it was unreal to me.
Oh, it must have been
But then
overwhelming.
I started getting angry. So like my gay jokes back then, like, I go, and who are these people that come from Faggotron? It was just a joke to me.
Yeah.
And I would do jokes like, when I got the bisexual, I go, bisexual, what do you get up in the morning, flip a coin, heads I want, hair pie, tails, balls across the nose. And people would go,
I already knew that
but it
punchline.
wasn't, they
I already
weren't,
knew that punchline.
but the point was they weren't hateful jokes. They were just
Balls
funny
across
about
the
the gay community.
I've never looked at another grown man's ass.
No, but I would talk about all that, but it wasn't hateful stuff. But as the media,
The nose.
Kelly loves this,
I remember that so vividly
Yeah.
because it was like there wasn't. It was such a different world. I mean, I didn't.
It was a different world.
I just told someone the other day I didn't know any Asians growing up, and they were like, "You didn't know an Asian?" And I was like, "I didn't know an Asian at all until I moved to California." And they
Yeah.
were like, "How's that even possible?" I go, "I grew up in Florida." Like, but heads, tails, balls across the nose.
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying is they were just jokes.
It was just jokes.
I
yeah.
wasn't looking to hurt anybody. It was just subject matter.
Yeah.
But as the media got more intense with me, I'd get angry, and I started getting mean about it. I wanted them to hear what Joe Rogan calls Dice mean. Like when I get angry at somebody on stage, he goes, I love Dice mean. Like, because it just doesn't become a joke anymore to me. If I hate somebody in
you
the
had
crowd.
legit.
Yeah.
You probably have had. You were probably the first person to try to where cancel culture came after you. Now it's so popular. But
No, well, that's the thing. See, today, everybody's being attacked for saying anything. That's why.
back then it was just you.
But that's why it's hard for comics today. A network will go, well, if you're going to do that bit, we're not giving you your special. And it's like, but that's the meat of it. That's what I build to. So it's almost like mediocre is considered the new great today. See?
Yeah.
But when I took off, I did exactly what I wanted. And it was the whole media just against me. And you talk about comics. What fucking prick cocksuckers, Jay Leno, fucking Seinfeld, all these motherfuckers. Hey, you ever see me on Comedians with Cars?
Mm-mm.
Isn't that funny? The one comic he should have on, and it doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm just better at all of it than these fucking guys. I could run circles around them. Like if you said to me, Dice, somebody pulled out on a special. Can you go up there and do a new hour tonight? I go, yeah, why couldn't I? I'm supposed to be the greatest.
Yeah.
So if you call yourself the greatest, you better go up there and be fucking great. That's how I look at comedy. I don't, whatever your routine is, I get a routine, but I love just picking something like the new fat girl thing, the Woo Plus, and I'll come on stage and Eleanor will go, "Where the fuck did that come from? You sit in your backyard, you don't go on a stage, and you gave them 15 minutes up front before you got into your act." I go, "Because that's what I'm known for, and I'm supposed to do that. And the day I can't do that anymore, I don't want to be on stage."
But I think for most of us, I was thinking of this morning. I was like, the day the laughter died, it felt like a legit workout set.
It was supposed to be the ultimate late night set.
Yeah.
Nothing planned.
Yeah, and that was what I think all of us, when I go to the store and I see someone go up, and when I see someone bump someone and do material that they've already done on specials, I go, "You left your family to do that? Like, you should be working out. You should be."
Well, that was because I was doing the biggest places in the world. So, I had an idea. Me and Rick were like, let's do the ultimate late night set
Those are the best ones.
with no people.
Yeah.
And from Mitzi Shore to David, Mitzi said, it'll ruin your career, when she came up to my house to hear some of it. And there's like no people,
Yeah.
She's, "What is this? You play the Forum. You do the Greek thing." I go, "You don't have to like it, And she goes, "It's going to ruin your career, Andrew." It went gold in 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
David Geffen called me up. He goes, this is before they put it out. He goes, "All right, so I understand the concept. Why does it have to be double CD?" I go, "Because it's never been done. I'm the guy that does the first, and it went through the roof that we did a sequel. We did part 2, which I like
have
better
both
than
of them.
part 1.
I have both of them.
Part 2 is better because part 2 is very real when I'm talking about like the contractor and my sister's wedding, what I went through
Yeah.
with the old guy with the butter that because I don't believe in salad. I know we're taught as children, eat your vegetables.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I never did. There's no reason. I want a steak. I want chicken. I want a baked potato.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need green leaves. I don't even know what roughage is. I don't, they call it rough. I go, I don't eat it. There's no taste. I don't believe in eating this nonsense, And so I don't eat it.
Yeah.
So I'm online and I cut the whole line. There's like 5 weddings. It was like my sister's 3rd marriage. Okay.
Yeah.
Which thank God it worked out all these years. So I cut to the front of the line. I just want to grab some of the rolls and butter, So this real old guy, because I put my hand in, and I look at him, he goes, and I take the rolls, I take the butter, and he goes, "You should have a really good marriage." Because he's seeing me there with my wife, I guess.
Yeah.
He probably figured I just got married. And I go, no, I don't believe in salad, so I just need the rolls and butter. I'm not really cutting in. There's no reason for me to be back there. I don't need anything. "Well, you should really have a good," like he was being nasty to me.
Yeah.
So I fucking unload on this old cocksucker. I'm like, "Who the fuck are you you old fucking cocksucker? At least I could still fuck," And I go off on it. So it wasn't until a couple of years later that Rick Rubin were talking about that bit, and because it really happened. And he goes, "What's so great about the bit is that the guy's wishing you well and you just lay into him." I go, "No, but I think when I lay into him, like people understand, like he knows I cut the line and he's like being like nasty to me. Like he really hopes the marriage isn't good."
Yeah.
He goes, "No, that's not how it comes off. It comes off like the guy's going, I wish you a lot of luck." And you're going, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
He goes, "That's what's so hysterical about that bit." I go, "I never even thought of it that way." I thought of it like the way it wasn't my mind that day. He goes, yeah, but nobody knows that. Nobody was at the wedding with you.
Yeah.
And I started laughing because now I realize it's even funnier than I thought. And then this contractor showed up on part 2 that was telling me he wanted to get in. I'm like, well, who the fuck? Number one, they were taking forever to do stuff in my house in Jersey. They were the worst contractors ever, these fucking guys. The whole house was falling apart from them. And I'm screaming like, well, who the fuck are you? Like that I'll put you on a list. Who the fuck are you? You put my fucking sink in the wrong way, you cocksucker. You know what I mean? That's how I looked at the fucking construction guys. You know? So that's why I like part 2 more, because like I was really pulling stuff from my life and just going off about it.
I think that's my favorite part of you is I take that. I mean, obviously, I think I just showed it.
Did you even say when I'm at the stand?
Yeah, we
You
said
didn't
at the
even
very
say
beginning.
it.
December 10th, 18th, and 19th, right?
Is it the 18th? Don't fuck this up, Kreischer. We're first becoming friends. You believe him? Supposed to be a talk show host. No, not the 10th.
The 10th?
At the stand in New York,
Yeah.
and then the 17th and the 18th
That's
at
what
the
I said.
stand.
That's what I said.
No, you said 18th and 19th. It's 17th and 18th.
Dude, this has been a dream come true.
I didn't say we got to end.
I gotta go scout a
No,
location
I'm
for my
just
TV
saying.
show.
Oh, big shot now.
Yeah, I gotta scout a location at 3:45.
What kind of show you doing?
You'll get an invite. I guarantee it. To show on Netflix, where I go take. I can't really talk about it on air, but
Why?
Because I'm not allowed to talk about it.
But everything's been done. So what's the difference?
I take. Just edit this out.
You don't have to say what the show's
Oh, yeah.
about, but is it a special or is it
no?
a...
I just filmed my last special 2 weeks ago, and this is a scripted series. Shoots in L.A.
A script?
Yeah, your name was on the list today. You'll get an offer. It's
My
you
name's
don't
on
have
the
to take.
list
You don't
for
have to
what?
take it. It's a long story.
Oh, you can't tell me the part.
I know. It's you. It's you playing you. I can't tell them what it is because then.
No, don't tell the audience.
Yeah.
Why'd you even tell them you're going to make me an offer for it?
Because we just got a list when I was outside waiting for you. I got the list of all the people that they wanted to have on the show.
So this is a sitcom?
No, it's like Curb Your Enthusiasm, kind of.
Yeah. See, I
You're
like
perfect.
that
You're
kind of
perfect
thing.
for it. You're perfect.
I'll only do it if I'm a regular because it'll keep me off the road.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
How much? All right. This is what I want to hear. Let's just make this a little fun for the listening audience.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about the big offer. Right?
Okay.
Who makes the offer? Number one. Is it you?
No, yeah, Netflix, but yeah.
I would do a show for them. Yeah, I had a problem with that comedy guy a little.
Yeah, Robbie.
Yeah. But I gotta let that go because he's young. You gotta forgive him. You know what I mean? And but this is an acting thing, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. So the man that's gonna make the offer, do you know him?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Todd.
Should we call him?
Yeah, we can call him right now.
Let's call Todd and we'll put him on speaker. I think the listening audience, because they never get to hear this stuff.
Yeah.
And if he gives me the top of show bullshit, I'll come over there. I'll fucking choke him to death. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds great. Oh, he's on us.
Hey, Bert.
Hey, what's up, Todd?
What's happening, Bert?
You know what's so funny?
Yeah.
Notice how Todd picked up for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with Andrew Dice Clay. We're doing a podcast.
Todd, how's it going?
Hey, Dice. What's
How-
happening?
See how nice he's being?
Yeah.
Because he's going to try to reel me in by saying how much fun it's going to be, all
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Todd.
Hey, Dice.
Yeah, no, we're doing a podcast, and I'm showing like the fans, which did I mention I have millions of? how deals get made in Hollywood, and Bert was saying that you're putting together his new TV show, and you want me on the TV show.
Listen, absolutely. If Bert wants you,
No.
you
He
know
said,
how important
all right, we could play
Bert,
this.
how important Bert is. Hey, Dice, here's how important Bert is to me.
Okay.
I'm in Australia, and we're shooting nights, and I wrapped at 5 a.m., and it's 8:30 a.m. here. I just looked over, and I saw.
All right,
Kreischer. I
let's
jumped
let's
out of
not
bed.
make believe you're the only guy that's ever been to Australia. Okay, because I know it's a 17-hour flight. I toured Australia. I'm actually coming back this year because I got what I would call a giant offer for 6 stupid shows that they want me for in Kangaroo Town,
Are you there?
which I don't even.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, I don't even want to fucking go over there. But you want to offer me sick money? I'll come take it. You understand? All right.
I do understand.
So I understand you're a big shot. Did you go pet the koala bear yet?
You know what? I didn't, because they have all kinds of weird STDs. I don't need any of that.
They happen to be a wonderful animal. I held one when I was there. All right. So anyway, we don't have to play the jerk off game because you said if Bert wants me on the show. Now, Bert has already informed me that I'm on a list to be on the show.
Perfect.
What do you mean
I love
perfect? You're supposed to know that.
He's shooting a movie. I think it's somewhere else.
Oh,
Like I said,
what movie? Who's
yeah,
in
like I
who's
said,
in
I'm
your big
Australia. I'm a little out of the loop.
No, but who's in your movie that you went all the way to Australia? Who's the main star?
We're doing Mortal Kombat over here. We're shooting the movie based on the
game.
a very, very popular video game. Yes, sir.
The game that my friend put out, the game that made $1 billion the day it came out. Am I right or
Yeah,
wrong?
it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. It's
My
incredible.
friend
This
runs that
Mortal Kombat
studio.
11 was the best-selling game. Yeah.
My
It's
friend
amazing.
Johnny runs that studio.
Oh, it's amazing. NetherRealm is amazing.
All right, so you're shooting the bullshit game movie with no real stars in it. I get it. Everybody's gotta make that mortgage payment. I get it.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely, Dice.
You know what I mean? And let me tell you something. The chicks over there in Australia, you know, they got that porcelain skin and them beefy pink boxes. Have you seen any yet?
No, let me tell you something. In fact, Bert, I'll send Bert a picture of where I currently am. My hotel. We are in a quarry shooting a huge fight scene, literally in a quarry in the middle of the outback. My room right now looks like a white collar prison.
The whole city's a shit house. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
I'm in
why you went
Adelaide.
there to
I'm not
film.
even in-
You know,
I'm in Adelaide. I'm not in Sydney or even the Gold Coast. I'm in Adelaide. Which is Southern
all
Australia,
them
which is-
fucking boroughs suck. You know, they got nothing to eat. I don't eat kangaroo burgers. That's why I told him I'm not going to come for a long time because there's nothing to eat there. There's one place where you could get some ribs. You know what I mean? So I just went there every day, for
it's a
breakfast,
lot
lunch,
of-
and dinner.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of breaded meats and cheeses for sure.
Yeah, I don't believe in cheese. It's what turns chicks into shit. Yeah, cheese and dressing.
Bert, did you reel him in?
Yeah. We got him.
Promising.
We got him.
All right.
I'm going to the scout
Good.
now. I'll give you a call tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
All right, take care. Nice talking to you.
I miss you.
All right, miss you too.
All right.
God bless. I love you.
You are the fucking best, Dice.
How much fun was this fucking
Oh,
guy?
dude.
He's in a quarry trying to film, and he's getting this psychotic on the phone.
Oh,
That's
you're
the greatest
best, man.
thing.
You're the best. This is a dream come true. I can't tell you if I could go back to 9th grade Bert and tell him in the middle of that lunchroom, no, one day you'll have him over at your house and he will tell that joke that that
You
someone
love
just told at the table. He'll tell it to you, and
No,
you'll
but-
recite it with them and fall apart.
No, this has been a blast.
Dude.
Are you kidding?
Thank you, man.
I'm glad. I've been wanting to meet you. I told Eleanor that.
Oh, dude, I've been a huge fan my whole life.
Where you been touring?
I'm just everywhere.
But do you go out for a long time?
Yeah, I go out. I'll leave January 30th, and I'll go out hard until probably May.
Really? You'll
Yeah.
just stay out?
Stay out, I'll come home. I'll come home a couple weeks, like a few weeks. I'll come home maybe Monday, Tuesday, and then fly back out Wednesday. But I really love the part you're talking about where you're writing and creating on stage. I'm obsessed
That's
with it.
That's the only way I could do it.
Yeah, and I'm not getting ready for a special, so it's just playing around on stage. And so for me, that's where I'm addicted. That's why I'm at the store just about every night this week, all month. And
people aren't my Instagram, because that's what I like. Andrew Dice Clay is my Instagram.
Yeah.
For people to come over.
we'll do a story in a second. We'll do a video and we'll put it up and we'll send everyone over to your Instagram.
You also said you're going to give me the number of your friend where there's a million numbers.
Molly. I'll see if she texted me back.
Yeah, you got to set me up with that.
Yep, she's in.
She's in?
Yeah, she said.
So this is like the only person that can make this happen?
Yeah, it's Ashton Kutcher's company.
Okay, so
I got you set up. I'll send
It's
it
on
all.
my
I'll send
phone.
it. I'll send everything to Eleanor, and she'll.
Eleanor.
Yeah, she'll
'cause
organize
she's
it.
the woman. All I know how to do is dial and text.
Yeah, I got it.
I have over 4,000 unopened emails. I tell everybody I'm never going to look at an email ever.
I have so many fucking. I never.
How
read
many?
emails.
How many you got?
It won't even tell me anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
I have
great.
so many. Here, wait. In my inbox, unopened, I have 68,000.
From who?
I don't answer.
How
them.
many people do you know that?
I don't.
would-
I haven't been answering them for years. As long as I've had the email address.
That's I stopped a few years ago because I'm like, just tell me.
Yeah,
When I run into somebody and they go, I sent you an email, I go,
just tell
you're
me.
right in front of me. Just tell me, Like, what's the big secret? What do I got to read about it for? You're right in front of me.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you, Dice. I
But,
appreciate it, man.
I appreciate, dog. You're great.
Thank you, brother.
This was fun. We'll do it again.
Let's do it.
And maybe we'll do your.
We'll bring your sons in.
They would be
I
fun.
would fucking love that.
They'll play a concert here.
Done deal.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
All right. I'll see you.